Hey guys, Jacob here. This is another 1.8.3 build video for the Division. This is going to be going over the updated Fire Crest I promised back a few weeks ago, so here it is, and I'll get right into it. As you guys can see, I am running a 5-piece Fire Crest with Inventive instead of the 6-piece. I decided the 5-piece was a little bit more my style, since you can get a little bit more out of it than the 6-piece. For me personally, I like running the 5-piece, but I've been going back and forth. So if you want to run 6-piece, do it, but me personally, I like the 5-piece a little bit more. I'm not sure why, but that's just how I like it since I've been running it for the past week. First, I'll get into the weapons. I'm using the Urban, the House, and the normal blue pistol. The Urban BR has Intense, Deadly, and Distracted. Intense is for when someone's right in front of you and you don't have your turret down, you can set them on fire and proc Distracted and hit them for 18% damage. So if they're right in front of you and while they're on fire, you can hit them with the status effects from the Urban MDR. Which applies to pretty much any status effect like Destroy Resistance, Bleed, Burn, Shock, so this will work with all status effects. Deadly for the extra crit damage. The mods on this are a Pro Sight with crit damage, stability, crit chance, Extended Mag with crit chance, rate of fire, magazine size, Small Grip with crit damage, stability, and optimal range, Loud Vent Break with crit damage, crit chance, and headshot damage, and that's about it for that gun. Now, the secondary, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, is the House with Deadly, Vicious, and Card Counter. If you can get like a talented, competent House, then you'd probably want to use that, but I cannot get that because my RNG is shit. So at the moment, Deadly is currently on, so crit damage is increased by 15%. Vicious is locked, and Card Counter is unlocked because it's in the last slot. The weapon mods on this are Pro Sight with crit chance, crit damage, headshot damage, Extended Mag with crit damage, magazine size, and rate of fire, Small Grip with crit damage, stability, and optimal range, Loud Vent Break with crit damage, crit chance, and headshot damage. That's about it for that weapon. The pistol I'm using to get my ults back and my skills back is a Cool Head Determined pistol. These work really well together, so if you can get this on a blue pistol, I'd recommend using it. If you want more heals, then use something like the Predatory Sawed-Off Shotgun. Now the chest piece is rolled for electronics, health on kill, and ammo capacity. 2 skill power mods. You could use skill haste, but at the moment I'm just using skill power to make the turret a little bit stronger. The mask is rolled for skill power, electronics, disarmament resistance, and a skill haste mod to get the turret back a little bit quicker. Electronics rolled on the knee pads, skill power, disorient, disrupt, and bleed. If you can get shock, bleed, and burn, then those are the ones you're going to get on the miners, but I was not lucky enough to get them on these knee pads. A skill haste mod for 30% electronics, and a 4% turret damage mod. Now the backpack gets Inventive, increased skill power by 15% when at full health, so if you're in cover with your teammates using this, you could have full health and just be burning the shit out of people with your turret since your skill power is increased by 15%. So for electronics, skill power, and ammo capacity, the mod on this is a skill power electronics mod and 2 4% turret damage mods. Now the gloves are rolled for assault rifle, skill haste, and crit damage. Skill haste is pretty nice, so you can get your turret back a little bit quicker, and assault rifle is for the Urban MDR. If you want to use an SMG, just go ahead and flip the SMG, and then you'll be good to go. The holster, all stats, and roll for skill haste, and a 4% turret damage mod. Now I'll get into the abilities I'm using. I'm using the Flame Turret, as you guys know, because obviously it's a Fire Crest build. Kind of be weird if you were not using the Flame Turret with the Fire Crest. So this is the Dragon Breath. The damage is 19,000 HP. I know you could probably get that a little bit higher, but at the moment I've just been running around having fun with this build, just burning people and trying to use it. I don't really use Fire Crest that much, so if you guys have any suggestions, please put them in the comments below. But at the moment, I've been running around mostly just a few people in skirmish with this build, and it seems to work really well, but I'm also not that big fan of turrets. So that's kind of why I'm not really sure how to set this up properly, but at the moment it seems to be working. Now I'm using the Overdose for heal. You could use a Pulse since the Pulse is pretty decent on this build, so I guess if you have a strong healer in your group, you could use the Pulse and help your team out that way while they're healing you, and you could use the turret to burn the shit out of people. Immune Station you can use also if there's a lot of bleed, so that's another thing you could use instead of the Overdose, but I suggest using the Overdose since you're really squishy and people are going to be shooting at you 24/7, so you want to get this back pretty fast. As you see, it's 27.60 seconds. That's kind of low compared to some of the skill haste builds I've made or electronic builds. Back in the day, my Taxi, I think I can get my pulse back back in, I think it was like 15 seconds or some shit, but that was a long time ago, and I can probably get this back pretty damn quick too. But 27 seconds is not bad. If you want more skill haste, then just fix the mods and you can probably get this a little bit quicker. The talents I'm using on this build are Combat Medic to heal your teammates when they're right next to you, Strike Back when you're reached low health, so if you're almost dead, you can hit your overdose and heal you. Wildfire, obviously, applying burden on any target triggers a 30% chance to target a 10mm radius. So if someone's right next to each other and you burn them, you can also burn the other person next to them too. Death by proxy, so if someone has a box and you shoot this and destroy it, your skill power will be increased by 20% for 30 seconds to increase your turret skill power. That's going to be about it for the abilities. I'll get into the character sheet and show you guys. The Urban MDR has a 9% crit chance, which is very low, and 109% crit damage, and 101 headshot damage. Health on kill 5%, enemy armor damage 24%, skill haste 22%, skill power 354,000%, my bad, 354,113. I don't know why I said that. Toughness 20,000, and max health is 210,000. Armor 7,559. Health regeneration 10,000. And protection from elites is 0. Now I'll show you guys the house, if they'll let me. Give me 1 second. There we go. 29% crit chance, 113 damage. I know that's pretty low on a house, especially since most houses have around 40. But like I said, this is a Fire Crest build, so I guess if you want to have more crit chance, you could lose the skill haste and have it on your gloves instead. And you could also flip it on the mask, and also flip it on the holster. That's my updated Fire Crest, guys. Thank you guys all for watching. As always, I will catch you guys in the
Make a wish!